Death and life in the power of the tongue.
Speak life.
Death and life in the power of the tongue.
Speak life.
Death and life in the power of the tongue. Live your life, love Christ, do your best to
Speak life.
Death and life in the power of the tongue.
Speak life.
Death and life in the power of the tongue.
Speak life.
Death and life in the power of the tongue. Live your life, love Christ, do your best to
Speak life.
Hey guys, welcome to the Speak Life podcast. This is your host, the one and only Sheikah. I am here with a special guest, a different co-host. Yes, I'm the host. So I'm here with my girl, Ebony Edwards, and she is the co-host for today. Yes, Minister Phoenix, he's not here today. He's taking a break. So we're going to have a very interesting topic for you today. But first, I want my co-host to introduce herself.
Hey everyone, I'm so excited to be here today with my girl, the one and only. I feel honored and humbled to be a part of this awesome ministry that you guys are doing, Speak Life, and I hope that you guys enjoy what we have to talk about today.
All right, let's get it. But before I go any further, I want to shout out all the listeners, the subscribers, everyone who comments, everyone who is a part of the conversation. We want to shout you out. Thank you. We appreciate you. We love you. And we're just asking you, if you're new, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. All right.
Yes.
All right.
Tell that friend.
Yes. Quick plug. Don't forget the book, When Three Roads Collide. It is on Kindle, Amazon, Google Books, any online website you could find the book. And also you could get it from us, the autographed copy. You could get it from us.
It's a good book. I started reading it. I'm very intrigued. Can't wait to finish it.
Yay.
So I encourage you guys, get that book.
All right. Thank you. And also don't forget to check out the website, threeroadscollide.com/about. All right, let's get it.
Let's get it.
Interesting topic for you today, and the topic is self-care. So because you're my co-host, I'm going to let you go first. So when you think of self-care, what comes to mind?
When I think of self-care, I think of it as, having a personal check-in with yourself and watching for the areas of emotionally, physically, psychologically, and spiritually. I feel like those areas in your life you can't neglect. You cannot ignore them. They need to be at a very high priority on your to-do list. Mm-hmm. I also feel like they allow you to, have a clearer vision on life. They allow you to have positive thinking. They allow you to have a sound mind, and they also allow you to have just a better view of, your life going forward.
Wow, love it. So when I think of self-care, I think of body, mind, and spirit. Pretty much same thing that you were saying. Your mind got to be right. Your body, you got to be healthy. You got to eat right. You got to, think right. You got to live right. Like right. Body, mind, and spirit. So everything has to be in line. So yeah, self-care for me is like, pretty much the same thing that you were saying. So I put it out there where, you got to make sure that your mind is in a good space where you're not letting everything to come in and distract you, or get in there where it's like telling you, like, you're listening to every single voices in your head that's telling you like, okay, do this, do that, what not to do, what to do. But you got to make sure that there's a balance.
Your psyche,
yeah,
psychological is that plays a real big part.
Mm-hmm.
What you put in your mind, what you listen to, so your mind, yes, it has to be right. You have to be in the right place with your mind to have that positive outlook on, for yourself. So
yeah,
I agree with you.
Love it. All right, next question. How important do you feel self-care is, and why?
I think self-care is very important. Biblically, in the Bible, it talks about, in Genesis 2, it talks about how God, even himself, after 6 days of making, the heavens and the earth, he rested on the seventh day.
Yeah.
And if you read further, it talks about how he blessed it and honored that day. And, if we could hypothetically think of how God rested, maybe he literally probably, slept under a tree. Like, like most of the prophets did, but God took that time to rest. And when you think of that spiritually and biblically, it's not a bad thing to take care of yourself. And God honors that time where you take the time to rest. And rest can look like so many different, things. You could do it in so many different ways. But the fact that in the Bible, it talks about how God, he literally stopped everything that he was doing on earth and not allow the world to kind of hold him back for what he needed, that rejuvenation and that recharge. And he took that time, that 7th day, to rest. And we need it. And because, it talks about how he honored that. Like, I don't think that, I think it's very important that we take that time to honor self-care within ourselves and take that time to take time for yourself, because it's very important.
Yeah.
I did it.
So we must do it. So I like the fact that you touch on that, and you're like, God, he took the time to look back, and he's like, wow, he honored in a way where he looked and he's like, wow, this is good. This was good. And he looked back, and I could just imagine him just looking like, wow, I did it. This is beautiful. Like,
Now
so
it's time for me
to rest. So, but you know what though? Self-care, like, and I think I have a problem with this at times, where self-care, taking care of yourself, sometimes you kind of feel guilty. You're like, okay, like, wait, this need to get done, that need to get done, but I'm here sitting doing nothing and just looking like, okay, I'm taking care of myself. Right. So I just want to say, like, don't feel guilty when you want to take time. Don't feel guilty. It's important. It's important to stop. It's important because, listen, this body can only go through so much, and your body will tell you.
It will shut down.
Yeah, it will tell you. It'll be like, listen, what are you trying to do? Yep. You're trying to go up those stairs? Nope, you can't. Yep. Sit down. And before you know it, you have like, you crash, like your chest start hurting, your head is hurting.
Headaches, migraines.
Exactly. So honestly, like, listen to your body. Listen to your body. Your body will tell you. Your body will say, Sheikah, stop. You need to sit down. And what I do, and I try not to feel guilty, because especially like cooking, I love to make sure that my family has a good food to eat and they're well taken care of. I like to make sure, I like to make sure that
curry Golden things.
I like to make sure that my house is clean. But there's times when I'm like,
eat some cereal.
Like eat some cereal, go get some chicken nuggets, something like
eat that processed.
Eat some mac and cheese, put it in the microwave, like.
Right. It's good for you.
And there's times I'm like, okay, I need to clean, the floor is dirty, or my kind of dirty may not be the kind of dirty for everyone, but for me it's dirty. Right. And I'm like, I gotta clean, but I'm like, you know what? Nope, that's gonna have to stay until next week, because I'm tired, I can't do it. So don't feel guilty, when you can't take care of yourself.
That's true.
Don't feel guilty when you want to take care of yourself.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Right. But I also feel like too, when you don't take care of yourself, it can leave a negative impact on you, because you're no good to yourself or the others around you when you don't take care of yourself, But in taking care of yourself, you're able to, declutter your mind. You're able to detach and distress from the hustle and bustles of everyday life, your daily routines, which you're constantly doing every single day. And if you don't take that time to just stop and just digress, you don't really have a sound mind. Yeah. You're not really thinking clear, and you're just on like robotic, movements. You're just going and going like that Energizer bunny, and there's gonna come a time when that battery is gonna just die.
No, it's true. And I want to say something else to what you said, because I think about myself, and I'm like, when I'm really going, and I'm tired, I feel like I yell.
Yes.
I start yelling.
Yes. You get irritated,
and I'm irritated.
You get easily annoyed.
Oh my gosh.
Every little single thing bothers you, ticks you, and it could be the smallest thing. Like, you're like, why you touch the stove like that? Why you just
anything?
Like,
it just irritates you, and
know?
then everyone around you start like looking at you like, "What is wrong with you?" Like, and I'm like, "You, what's wrong with me? Like, I'm tired." And you're like, "So if you're tired, go sit down. Who's telling you to clean?
Right.
Like, you could clean tomorrow. Like, relax."
We good. We walking around the dirt, so just join the club.
Yeah, and I know like Minister Phoenix, like he'll be like, "Sheikah, like, babe, sit down. Like, if you're tired, just sit. Like, you want to do it, so don't get mad at me. Sit down."
My husband's the same way. He will, he will take that time and go sit on the couch. If there could be clean clothes in the corner, and he's like, I will pick my socks from the clean clothes until I feel like folding them. I'm tired. You have to just not worry about just the small things all the time and make them a big issue, because right then and there, that right there is just,
it's not good.
It's not good.
It's not good
At all.
And then I expect him to not just sit on the couch, but you're sitting there watching me clean. Get up and help me. Like, and then I get mad because you're not helping.
Well, their help is probably staying out of the way. Because, no, seriously, like, I think, we talk a lot. We have a lot of comments. So when we clean, it's totally different from when they clean. Because when they clean, we always go back and say, you missed that. You didn't do that. Or we go and re-clean after they have cleaned, because it's just a certain type of way that we like to have our house. And I am guilty for that, because David will clean. I mean, I give him the credit, but then I'm like, babe, how come you didn't clean? You got to clean the behind the toilet. You have to get, and like, just some guys are like oblivious. They clean, but it's not like they're like thoroughly
Yeah, they're not
cleaning,
like us. They're not looking for everything.
Yeah, they're not looking for everything, but.
Yeah, but you got, so you know what? They're good at taking time for themselves.
Right.
They're good at self-care. They're like, you want to be a robot? Go ahead.
Go right ahead.
All right, so the next question that I have for you, do you have a self-care routine, and what are some of the things you do?
Oh, man. I have a laundry list of things that I do for myself. One thing that, being home during COVID, you can get lazy. You can definitely just stop taking care of your beauty, your hygiene. You're like, oh, I'll take a shower. Like, not today, but the next day. But me personally, I think that, like, even if you're not going anywhere, like, just getting up, taking a shower. And me personally, I use my shower time as like mommy getaway spa time. Like, you go take a long shower and you don't know what your kids are doing, what the husband's doing, but you just in the shower and you're just like, you're just able to breathe, just get that, 10 minutes of just fresh air. So I love to, take that time, take showers. I like to do my hair and kind of like just, get dressed and feel like I'm going somewhere, even if I'm not going anywhere. I love, getting pampered. I love, going to get my nails done and my toes done and my eyebrows done and my hair done. And even if, that's so cliche, like, you go and do that, but you'll be surprised when you're sitting in that chair and that massage, you just start getting the, when you get in the chair, you put you press the massage button and the thing starts on your back. It just does something for you. And, I love to I will go out by myself. I will go out to eat by myself. I will go to the movies by myself. I will go shopping. I believe in therapy, is self-care. I love to go spoil myself and take time to spend money on myself, because I feel like I'm just a generous person. I'm always giving to others, and you got to take that time to go and do that. I love going to conferences and events and joining classes that can better myself and push me on towards the goals that I want to accomplish. I take time to clean my house when no one's around, put on my music, just pray and just like have self-thinking, like just having that time to just have no one around, just me and God. And I love to do that. I love to go for walks. I go for walks. I'll go by myself, put my music on, go for a walk and talk and think. Staycations, you can go book a hotel just for yourself.
Just for yourself. That's a good one.
And don't feel guilty about it. Go and, you know, just recharge and rejuvenate and just refresh yourself and just get away. And so that, like, I love to do so much different things. I have hobbies, you know, I love event planning and doing projects and designing. Like, I love all that stuff. So I mean, I have a larger list of things that I want to do. I can go on and on. But I would say, like, my most recent thing that I discovered that, you know, when I realized that how important self-care is, and when I got to the point where, like, all right, God, you know, I feel like I'm not myself. I actually started taking yoga classes. And started studying to become a yoga teacher.
Okay, awesome.
Look out for that, you know, in the near future. And I'm going to put a twist on it because, you know, I know, like, religion and, you know, Christianity have a, you know, a certain view on, you know, yoga, but I'm going to twist it and put it and bring in my, you know, my Christian morals and values into, because I feel like women, we need that. We need to get away and take care of our mind, body, and soul. And so, I mean, I can go on for days, you know, like, about stuff that I do for me. Yeah, I can go on. My birthday. I love to celebrate, do things to celebrate me. You know, I will plan my birthday, and if you come, you come. But if you don't, I take that day to celebrate me. And because I'm just happy with being able to have life, you know, and that is important to me. So, but yeah, we'll take it anymore.
I'm like, are you done yet?
So much that I do for, you know, me.
All right, let me look at the question again because I forget. Okay.
You want to add to my list? Or you just want to check the boxes?
So what I do for self-care, my self-care routine, I don't know if I have a lot, but something that I really look forward to doing is to just sit. I have a prayer closet, and I swear that place is a heaven for me. I like to just go and sit, and what's so crazy about it is that my kids know that I have it, especially my 2-year-old. And when when she can't find me, that's the first place she'll come, and she's like, "Mommy," and I'm like, "Oh." She's like,
found me.
I need a lock on it, and then she'll be like, "Mommy, you praying? You praying?" And I'm like quiet because I'm like, I'm not praying. I just want to sit. I'm not praying. She go, "You praying?" I'm like, "Charity, no, I'm not praying. Mommy's just sitting right now." So I like to go in there and I like to just sit and just reflect and think. And then when I feel like I can't think no more, I just start writing. And sometimes, honestly, I like self-care for me is writing, journaling. So sometimes I'm writing and I'm like, you're not thinking, you're just writing. And I'm like, what are you writing? I'm like writing the same thing over and over and over again. And I'm like, as long as I'm getting something on the paper, for me, it's just like to kind of,
come on, I know you got something.
Just breathe.
You got something good too that you do for yourself besides going in a room.
I mean, like, I go in there
Something
and
exciting.
I just relax and stuff.
Outside of the room, outside of writing. What
I
else do
know,
you do?
like, I'm trying to think, like, now that we're back at work, I hope none of my kids are gonna be watching this podcast, but but no, we're back at work, and you know they have like lunch bunch where they'll stay on Zoom and they'll chat and stuff. I literally I'm like, I hope you guys are doing what you're supposed to do because I'm muting. I don't want to hear a sound, so I'll mute my computer so I'm not hearing nothing, or I'll just log off or something. Like, I'm just like, I don't want to hear all the talking. But like for me, like I think maybe I'm selective when I take care of myself in a way where like summertime is a big thing for me. Like that's when I'm like right now, look, my nails are not done. But summertime, like I'm like, I gotta get my nails done. I gotta get my hair done. Like I like to get my hair done because when my hair is not done, I don't feel as confident and as pretty.
Like
and my husband be like, "Oh, I love your natural hair." And I'm like, it doesn't
you
make
like
me
them
feel...
compliments.
Yeah. So like I like when my hair look a certain way. And what else? I feel like sometimes I get it confused, and like I said before, sometimes I feel guilty when I'm trying to, take kids and do self-care, because most times I feel like self-care have to revolve around my husband. Like when you were saying that, okay, you can go to the movies, you could go out to eat by yourself, you could book a hotel room for the night or whatever. Like that, I'll feel guilty, like wait, by myself, and then I think about
who's gonna feed them,
and I think about the kids. So it's like when I do these things, like I don't think I'm taking self-care because my mind is always on them.
It's not a bad thing.
So,
it's just
I don't know. So so for me, I'm just like the what I named so far for me is what I've been doing, but I'm gonna try some of those and try not to feel guilty.
Yeah, I'm gonna drag you out. We're gonna do self-care together.
Try not to feel guilty about it, but so that's what I do. So the next question, how can someone recognize if it's time for some me time? How can someone recognize if it's time for some me time?
I honestly think, when you're easily irritated, frustrated, annoyed, bothered, you become less enthused with the things that, you really enjoy. You stop doing the things that are like important to you as far as like, a certain goal or a dream or like just whatever you feel is important to you. Stop doing those things. I feel like when you just get kind of like lazy, tired, and you just want to just like always just kind of be alone sometime. Not that that's a bad thing, but you're alone, but you're like thinking like negative thoughts, and you're or even sometimes when I feel like sometimes when people go to social media, social media can be a really dangerous place to look for self-care. But some people, when they go to social media, they use it as an outlet to either look for self-comparison or validation or just looking for like self-worth. And so you gotta, when you're starting to spend a lot of time on there, that can be a place where you can recognize where you just, okay, why am I on here for 7 hours? But like when you're easily just, things are just bothering you. But I would definitely say when you'll start to feel it like in your body, you'll start to feel not yourself, and the people around you will notice like, you good? You all right? Like this ain't the
person I know.
And when you sense it right then and there, like, all right,
you need to do something about it.
That right there is a red flag. Like, all right, it's time. I gotta pick myself up, and you gotta come out of that place of just like
No, it's true. For me, like I get stressed. Like when I start feeling stressed out to the point, and that's why I said like when I start yelling and everything, I'm like, yeah, Sheikah, it's time. And plenty of y'all probably don't be like, wait, you yell? Yes, I yell. I scream.
She yells. She yells.
No.
She yells. I'm a witness of it.
But like I definitely, when I'm starting to feel stressed or feel depressed, and when I say, and as Christians, sometimes people because you're Christian, people are like, well, you shouldn't be just depressed. You have Jesus Christ. Yes, but
it's not of God.
Yeah, it's not of God to be depressed. But when I start feeling like that, or just feeling alone, like I just like, and you start, like I said before, a few episodes, I said, God is going to deliver your girl from overthinking. But when I start overthinking too much and just start thinking too much, like about people and what they thought, like I literally one day had to like be on my face and crying to God, like, I don't want to care what people think anymore. I literally have to tell myself, like, Sheikah, stop.
Well, even in that moment, that is practicing self-care, because you're literally having a real talk with God. And sometimes in order for you to practice self-care, like acknowledging, your faults or acknowledging the things that you need help with is like the best way to your road to recovery. Like it's like a person who suffers from, you know, substance abuse. You know, the first thing they tell you in recovery is what?
You gotta admit.
You gotta admit.
Yeah.
So, you know, you admitted it, and
It's true.
that helps with self-care.
Amen. All right. So the next question is, if you could give someone some self-care tips or advice, what would you give them?
I would say, remember self-love. You know, you want to keep a list of your priorities, but keep them very short, like realistic. Things that are achievable, things that you know within yourself that you can do. Definitely remember to put yourself first. You know, it's not a bad thing. Don't feel guilty about it. Definitely practice self-worth and self-esteem. You know, eliminate self-criticism and start practicing self-compassion. The last thing I would say is definitely practice self-you. You know, love what God created about you. Love the things that God is doing for you. Love being uniquely you. And love your life journey, because it's a story about you, for you, all about you. So,
wow,
you know, those are some things that I would leave with you. And don't forget, God rested too. He took care of himself. So it's important for you. And he honors that you take care of yourself as well.
Yeah, wow. Love it. I just want to piggyback on what you said about, like, you know, taking care of you. For me, it's like, be okay, you know, be okay with who you are. Like, so many times, like, we're our biggest judge. Like, everything that we do, we're like thinking about it, like really,
worst critic.
you know, worst critic. Exactly. So, be okay with you. Be okay with you in your own skin.
Love the skin you're in.
Exactly. Like, you know, you're beautiful. You know, like, just be okay with who you are. And for me, like, what I would tell you is that, like, just don't be so judgmental when it comes to you. Like, I know Minister Phoenix, like, I mean, if I could just, like, really sometimes just transform into him, I would love to, because, like, he is who he is, and he does not care.
That's just like my husband. Shout out to my husband, David Edwards. Love you.
Yeah.
He has that same mindset. He always tell me, babe, you're putting too much energy into people, or putting too much energy into things that really don't matter. So
yeah, like, if I could just really, like, he really don't, like, he could be goofy, he could be silly, he could be, like, he has so much different ways that he could be, and he just love himself for who he is. And you know, and sometimes it's like, and honestly, you'll be surprised of how people really do take to you and really do love you for who you are, for who you portray yourself to be, not who you want, like, not putting on a facade, but just really being real and being who you are. People will genuinely love you because you're being you. You don't have to try to you don't have to try to act like how, like, I don't have to act like you. You don't have to act like me. I don't have to act like anybody else. I could just be me. And that's something that, if I could leave anything with you, just be you. Because that's something that I often struggle with, where I'm like, okay, like, and especially when you're like a leader in church, you're like,
God. That's another conversation.
You're like, wait, I gotta dress a certain way. I'm not gonna say, of course, you have to dress, you know, you have to dress modest, you know,
absolutely.
But at the same time, like, just be okay, be comfortable. Like, not everyone is gonna, like, praise you. Not everyone is gonna like say, oh, you're doing a great job. But if you are not okay with you and that you're doing a great job, the best that you can be, then no one else is.
Listen, my crown is in heaven. So
exactly.
At the end of the day, you know, we face God at the end of the day, and he not looking for anybody to rally behind you like, let her in.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about what you did down here on earth. So
exactly,
make it about you and make the best you that you can be.
Exactly. Awesome. This was so good. So this is it. We're going to wrap it up. Thank you for tuning in again. And again, remember, if you have not subscribed to the podcast, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, and like, thumbs up, and leave some comments in the comment section. Join the conversation. Again, Ebony, thank you so much for being here. This is my girl.
Thank you.
And, we love it and we appreciate your family. So we just thank you for being here. Again, don't forget the book, When Three Roads Collide.
Yes.
Please support us. It's a great book. You read it. I promise you, you look at things differently. Yeah. So God bless you.
God bless you guys.